That's okay. It's been said about me as well. Okay. But the guy has certain things. He was responsible for a number of things. He was responsible for the jazz festival, a number of things the guy's been responsible. And he's got ideas. At least he's got ideas. You don't have to agree with them. You can argue. That's what it's all about. Arguing. But this business about one person alone has ideas or leave things as they are, obviously a lot of things have to change. I remember having Hilary Modeste on this show a number of times, another guy I have a lot of time for. And one of my questions, repeated questions to Hilary Modeste was, is there any system in place to check what the tourist board does? Which of them was successful? Which of them was not? Which must be discarded? They have no such thing. From what I'm hearing, they're going to have different systems. Do I think Alan Chastanet is going to make a good tourism minister? I hear he will be. I hear. I think yes. And if it turns out not to be, he's going to get the treatment. That's what it's about. Let's not just say, don't let the guy in for all kind of personal reasons, unless you can suggest somebody else more qualified. And if the conflict of interest thing comes in, the one owns the hotel. I have heard whispers who really owns the hotel. Okay, so I'm not even going into that. And in any event, there are a number of conflicts that I've had to shut up over, because you know me on conflict of interest. Because this place is so small, it's impossible. Either you have a guy who openly states, this is my position. I remember Claudius saying that too, and I agree with him. And if a man states, look, this is my position, I own this, I own that, then you will expect him to have transparency, that he's not using this thing to benefit himself personally. I used to be tougher on that. I remember when I said about Craig Barnard. In fact, it was Agnes Francis who mentioned it, not me. And I agreed with her. Craig Barnard at his hotel, so it was a little bit dodgy conflict. It may be conflict of interest for him to be head of the tourist board, I think it was. And the next day, Craig Barnard resigned. I found out later he didn't resign from the board. He just went down one step further. Same thing, member guy. But I have stopped making too much noise about conflicts, not just for now. I have stopped. I stopped because unless you can produce other people with better ideas and a track record, I'm prepared to accept some of that, and for us to judge him as we go along, and when we find him wanting, dump him. Talk to me.
Hi, Rick. Good night.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great.
But, Rick, you spoke about those guys like Philippe J. Pierre and
Mario.
So what about those new people who just came on the scene?
I don't understand.
You don't know much about them?
I don't understand your question. What I did was tell you about their performances, you know.
Yeah, but what...
But hold it, caller, please. I told you about Philippe Pierre's performance after 2 terms in office. I told you about Minister after 2 terms. I told you about Mario. This guy haven't started yet.
Yeah, but don't you think that the career will be affected also?
No, you're not understanding me. What I said about Philippe Pierre is a damn good minister, is what I said, right? But that's because he...
I agree with you on that one.
Also, we can only agree because he has shown that for 2 terms. Before he had served 2 terms, I couldn't say he's a damn good minister, could I?
Okay, so you're saying that you need to see the performance...
Right on! That's why I just told you about Alan Chastanet.
Yeah.
I heard it's Alan Chastanet. I think that's a great idea. But the minute Alan Chastanet starts showing his crap, I'm going to be saying, dump the guy.
Okay.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Rick, I quite agree with you with some of the things that you were saying.
Thank you.
Kenny. I find like the thing about it is he took too long to respond to certain things, and eventually he had to respond to them. You know, for example,
yeah, go ahead.
I find he in one way he lacked the ability to humble himself when he needs.
But caller, let me say this, I want to be fair to the man. I told you I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago. I am not sure it's lacking thing to do it, you know. The guy really feels hurt. People hurting him, you know. And that, in a way, that's good. In a way, that's not politic. Because you end up looking like, to hell with you, you know. And it didn't help either. Take me to court. And all that suing people left, right, and center. People don't like that.
Yeah, because, Rick, to be honest, I have great